Okay, I know it's been a while since I have done a Starbound Conquest update, but I wanted to do one. So, I haven't been spending a lot of time on this because I'm making the mobile companion app, and I think I have that done. But that will be a video probably next week, I think. So, I haven't really touched this desktop version, but I did do some updates. So here are a couple of the updates. Eventually I'm going to make videos on how to actually play the game, so you can kind of see it, but I'm probably not going to let anybody play it. I don't know how to do like different users and stuff yet. It'll just be for me and my brother. Anyway, so I wanted to add the ability to draw a distance and get the whatever the distance is between the hexes. I was trying to figure out a way to do combat by ship firing arcs, but with using a hex to move, it made it a little bit difficult. So I changed how some of this stuff works. You still use the hexes to move, which I'll show you, but then when you want to measure the distance between ships to see if you can hit, you use a ruler. I made this little ruler thing that I found through Stack Overflow, and so what it does is there's two canvases now. There's the bottom canvas, that's the main game, and then the top canvas, that's the ruler. So this little button up here, enable ruler, when you click on it, you get this neat little gold border. So now the elements on the screen cannot be selected. So then if you disable ruler, you can select your ship again. Cool? Okay, so the ruler then is once you move your ship to wherever you want it to go to see if it can hit. So you can either keep the firing arc up or down depending on what you click on. So let's say, for instance, you measure from the center of the hex to the ship's center of the hex. So to see how far this distance is, you can click on it. I haven't been able to figure out how to make this a hex instead of a circle, but I'm probably just going to leave it because I'm not too worried about it. And the line's a little fat, but it's okay. So it gives me my distance between where I click it the first time and then where I click it the second time. So if I want to measure from here to here, it gives you the distance in feet. Okay. So I can show you this. Okay, so on top of also drawing the hex, it now draws. Oh, sorry, this is the firing arcs. First, I'll show the firing arcs, and then I'll do the ruler. So to remove the hex-based firing directions, because I thought it was a little too clunky, I used Battlefleet Gothic firing arc setup. So this is starboard and left side, right side, front, back. I forget what they are. And so the red and the green are just to differentiate where they are. But they're 90-degree angles, and so then when you rotate your ship, you can then see if it's in line of sight. And then once it's in line of sight, if you click on the other ship, you can measure the distance to see if you hit. And then if your weapon is within 41 feet or whatever, then you hit. And then you do all the other stuff. So yeah, this was a little bit nicer because if I didn't do this, then you would have to, figure out, is a ship straight wasn't so bad because, this rotates every, it rotates around the hex edges. So that's not so bad. But when you're trying to do, broadside combat, because you got to look at it and be like, well, it goes all the way up here and all the way down there. It was too tough. This was easier. So for firing, it's a arc icon. So anyway, to do that one wasn't so bad. I found how HTML Canvas uses arcs on W3 schools. So that was pretty cool. So this is the path. It starts here. It starts here, and then it goes to this one, and then it goes to this one, and then it ends up. Starts here, goes to this one, goes to this one, and then it ends here, and then this is the hex. And then you can change all these colors. Okay, so that's kind of the firing arc. That's pretty cool. And so even the little fighters, have it. So if I want to, see the distance, then we do that. Okay, so now the ruler. This was pretty cool. I found this on Stack Overflow where you could draw a ruler based on where you clicked the first time and where you clicked the second time. I had GPT help me figure out how to display the text for the distance, and we just kind of came up with a random way to measure the distance. It's not actually 64 feet, but it sounded cooler than saying like, oh, it's 2 inches between your ship and the next ship. Well, that doesn't sound as cool as, that's 64 feet. I just thought that sounded cooler. So I just punched in a random variable number to give me 64 feet. GPT said to do it like this, and then I changed some things to make it, look cooler. Anyway, so enable ruler. Okay, so the way this is working is here. For now, it's just called test because that is how it was in the Stack Overflow. Anyway, so this first line of code here, Canvas 1, is the main game canvas. And that's why Canvas 2 is called Canvas 2. It's Canvas 2. And then context, I should probably do context because I haven't been using CTX, but I'm weird. Anyway, and then you're getting the second canvas. So I'm setting my variables. And then so it's saving the clicks in this little like array thing. So your first click and then your second click. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, so I'm getting the element for the button, which is this enable ruler in my HTML. It's called test. I gotta rename stuff. But anyway, so you're getting the element, and when it's enabled, the text content switches to disabled, background color goes to gold, style color goes to black for the words. And then when it's not, when you turn it off, it goes back to enable, and then the original colors. So then once it's enabled, Canvas is being shown, and then all of these, I'm adding event listeners to it to be able to drag, drop, and stop the line, which is here. Once you turn it off, it runs through all this. It removes those event listeners. This is the logic for moving the line. This was the stuff from Stack Overflow. So only thing I really changed was the line colors and line distance right here. So first click, cursor X minus 100. I was just funking around with some of the values. So so most of this here was from the thing I found on the internet, and then this here I needed help from GPT to figure out how to get the numbers to display. But yeah, so then once it's done, it clears it out, and then you can redo it again. And then your cursor position is updated. So yeah, it's kind of neat. And then these are just console logs to see how everything was working. But yeah, so I'm really happy with how it looks. I think what would have been cool is if I could get rid of the hex totally, and then let's say you move a ship. Since I already have my mouse down, I can move the ship here and then move it over here, and then it'll say with this being something you can toggle, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to maybe toggle it, and then I can move the ship at the same time, and then this shows up. So then maybe I can get rid of the hex movement and then just say you can move, 36 feet. It's all just one type of movement, not two. And I think I can do it. I think I can enable event listeners on canvas 2, and then I should be able to drag and select the ship. So anyway, it would be nice to be able to move the ship and then show you from where you started to where you go how far it is, but it's not important. I'm really just trying to get this done before I start school in about a week. Okay, so that is kind of where I'm at. So like I said, Monday I will show the mobile app, and I was going to have it be no, it's an app that you'll need to play the game, but it's specific to Android. Yeah, I still like the idea of having a companion app to be able to play a game. It's not a companion app. How to have an app to be able to play the game. And then the other thing I want to change, and I'm going to work on next week, is I want to get rid of all of these drop-down menus to just 2. You select your ship class, and then you select your faction. So just 2 menus instead of 8. I think it'd look a lot nicer. Then I could streamline this menu a little bit. Yeah, and then work on some styling. So that's for next week. Anyway, that's all I got. So later, taters.